Hey, how's everybody doing? Hopefully you guys all had a great time watching the Super Bowl. It was a ton of fun watching the game yesterday. As you guys see, first off, I got a buzz cut now, so that's probably different for you guys, but I did it for a good cause, so felt good doing it. But anyways, I have takeaways from a Vikings fan's perspective from the Super Bowl. There's a lot of pointers that the Vikings could take away, such as Jefferson in comparison to Cooper Kupp. Obviously, Kevin O'Connell coming in as the offensive coordinator. I'm going to give you guys my takeaway from the Super Bowl from a Vikings fan perspective. Thank you guys so much for watching. It was a ton of fun watching the game yesterday. Skol Vikes, let's get into it. All right, so the first takeaway I had from watching Kevin O'Connell and his offense, the different ways they were able to get Cooper Kupp the football yesterday was amazing. I mean, it was either he was lined up in the slot, he was the first option, he was the wide receiver, he was lined up in a wing formation. I saw him even a couple times. The amount of different ways where it almost made it impossible for the Bengals to really get a strong double team on Cooper Kupp was phenomenal. I mean, there was countless times where the Bengals, they got lost in coverage on Cooper Kupp because they were trying to double team him, but McVay and Kevin O'Connell did such a good job moving him around schematically where it made it where they had to first find Cooper Kupp and then they had to go double him. And especially if he's running, let's just say he's running the least important route on the play design, which they had him do a couple times yesterday as just a decoy, you can really get into some bait and switch with the Bengals, and they really started to struggle. And that's why the last drive, when it was just feeding your playmakers the ball, that's what the Vikings should have been doing this whole year with their stud, with their number 18 in Justin Jefferson. Also, another takeaway is the Vikings tight ends next year. I've been saying this for a while, mainly just because I think the personnel that we have with Irv Smith, he's going to take a huge leap in the next year. But look at the Rams. Look at the way they still use their tight ends, even with Higbee out. I love it because it kind of just shows that it's an interchangeable position within the offense. It wasn't like specifically built around Tyler Higbee, the tight end position. So I'm excited to see Irv Smith step into that role and I think he could be a more versatile, and I think with this 3-1-1 system that Kevin O'Connell and McVay love to run. It's 3 wide receivers, 1 tight end, 1 running back. I think they could see him maybe using Irv in a more versatile way than they use Higbee. Because I think Irv has a little more wiggle than Higbee. Higbee's probably more of a security blanket. But I think if they use Irv just like they use Higbee, Irv is going to put up phenomenal numbers. So 2 guys, I think, Jefferson, Irv Smith. I cannot wait. I really cannot wait because even especially with the Cooper Kupp Jefferson comparison in the offense, Odell Beckham went down. They were still trying to double. And they couldn't because mainly how good Cooper Kupp is and how smart he is, but also McVay moving him around. I'm sure Kevin O'Connell had so much say into that. So it was just great to see. And I am so excited for the Kevin O'Connell era in Minnesota to start. Also, the last takeaway, and probably the biggest takeaway, is the Rams, how they constructed their team with trading away first rounders, being aggressive, and getting key spots. I love this is the comparison I always say why, you can be aggressive and go trade 2 first rounders for a guy in the secondary. Just make sure you do it right. And the always example I give people is, you look at the Seahawks. They traded 2 first, a player to go get a box safety in Jamal Adams. How much impact does Jamal Adams really make on a football game? Obviously, he's a great player. He can make big-time plays, but he's just not the most. A box safety is probably 10th on the list of most important positions in the NFL. Then if you look at the Rams side of it, they go trade 2 first for Jalen Ramsey. I know Jalen Ramsey kind of had an off game yesterday, but they go be aggressive for cornerbacks. For more important positions, they went and got Andrew Whitworth. They went and upgraded their quarterback and got Matthew Stafford, got another weapon in Odell Beckham Jr. when they still had Van Jefferson, Robert Woods, and Cooper Kupp at the time. I just think if you're going to be aggressive in the NFL, I think you have to be, first off. But if you are going to be aggressive, make sure you're being aggressive in the right spots. Because if you're not aggressive in the right spots and you go take a risk and you give 2 first rounders for a guard, you're going to have a consequence. You give 2 first rounders for a box safety, there will be consequences for that if it doesn't hit 100%. But if you go take 2 first rounders and trade them for the most important position group on defense, on offense, nobody's going to say anything because they don't have to be perfect. The move doesn't have to be perfect. It just needs to work a little bit because it is the most important position group. And when you get an upgrade in the most important position group, you see the most upgrade in your overall team. And with them dishing out first and second rounders, they've shown that they can go draft guards, centers, safeties in the second, third, and fourth round, which I think the way they've ran this Rams team has been absolutely wonderful. I think it's been a new age of football, and there's so many ways to win in the NFL, and that's why I think I love it so much, because you can go build through the draft like the Bengals, or you can go trade every first rounder you have like the Rams and still meet in the Super Bowl and have an all-time great game. Thank you guys so much for watching. This was a ton of fun to watch, and kind of just as a Vikings fan, watch the Rams offense. Go back and watch a couple of these games this year where see how really creative they are when getting Cooper Kupp the ball. Because yes, it's easy to double team a receiver, but it's extremely hard to double team a receiver when you don't know where he is, and then you don't know if he's running the most important route, if he's running the least important route, if he's a decoy. They just switch it up so much. They've got him in motion, backfield, wing position, anything. Thank you guys so much for watching. Skol Vikes. Hope you guys had a great time watching the Super Bowl. This season has been honestly awesome with you guys, and I cannot wait for the offseason. It's my favorite part of the NFL. Stay with me the whole time. Subscribe for more content. Leave a like down below and comment down below how excited you are for Kevin O'Connell to be in Minnesota. Skol Vikes.